And Anthony, let's start with you. Which New York baseball player has the most to prove this season?
To me, Eamon, it's Luis Severino. I think we all forget maybe how great he was and the career that he was setting himself up for before he got hurt. I mean, since 2019, he's basically, I think he's pitched in 26 games in the regular season for the Yankees. Injuries, obviously, have been a huge factor here. But the talent level there, Eamon, is so high that, this is like an X factor in their rotation. If he can be what he was, 17 and 18, he was one of the best pitchers in baseball, a Cy Young candidate. A guy who could really be the top of the rotation, ace type, #1 starter in a playoff series, all of that kind of thing. And the Yankees sort of have this coming back, hopefully, for them. So I think he's got the most to prove because it's been a while. We haven't seen it. The injuries have taken a lot out of him, and now he's got a chance. He's fully healthy. The Yankees are even keeping him out of the WBC to ensure his health. Let's go, Luis. Let's see it. I can't wait.
I really can't wait either. I mean, when I look at Luis Severino, I just think about a pitcher with that X factor, that kind of game-changing personality. And even though maybe he's not exactly the same pitcher that he was in 2017 and 2018, you still see so much of that talent there. He just has to stay on the mound. And in addition to that, with all the question marks that we have about Frankie Montas right now, you need someone like Luis Severino to be a stable presence behind Rodon, behind Garrett Cole. So I really think it's going to be a huge, huge season for him. Hopefully he can stay healthy because he just has such electric stuff.
And how about for the Mets? Who's the one who has the most to prove this season?
So you know what? I'm going to throw him right into the deep end. I'm going to say Kodai Senga. And the reason for that is just because of the age of their rotation. You're looking at Max Scherzer, you're looking at Justin Verlander. These are guys pushing 40 years old. And now you have Kodai Senga, who in his age 29 year already had 1,300 innings under his belt. You look at the active pitchers in Major League Baseball right now, and only 8 pitchers through their age 29 year have thrown that many. Now you take in the fact that it's a more brutal schedule. There was the change in the ball. Obviously, it's less tacky. That ghost fork, how is it going to play with major league hitters? And they've got him for 5 years. I think this could be a really big X factor, especially considering the fact that the Mets don't have that Chris Bassett type person who can eat up innings. If he can do well for them, he can really make a name for himself in New York.
You brought up the ghost fork, Laura. I can't wait to see this pitch
I'm so excited.
On a daily basis or every fifth day basis to see what it can do and how hitters react to it and all that stuff. Look, he is obviously a talented guy, and there's so many more measurables now how teams can evaluate these guys as there were, so we're not going to have like a Kei Agawa situation here where he's a complete flop, the way the Yankees, the guy the Yankees fans love to hate back in the day. So I think he's going to have some level of competence, but, as Laura said, he could be one of the best pitchers also on the staff, and that's saying a lot considering the talent of the Met rotation. So there's a lot to love here. There's a lot to be anticipating here, Eamon. It could be very exciting with Senga.
Interesting choices from the both of you because I think they're in similar situation. If they pitch to their resume and expectations, these staffs become the big three and probably some of the best rotations in all of baseball. Now let's make the call to the bullpen and bring in Terry Collins. And Terry, who do you think has the most to prove this season in New York baseball?
Well, I will tell you what, I'm going to pick a position, and that's third base. When you go out and get a third baseman, you're looking for an offensive player. And here with the Mets, you've got Escobar. The Yankees, you've got Josh Donaldson. Both guys were outstanding players. Josh Donaldson, on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, was one of the best players in baseball. Came to the Yankees. They were hoping for big things from him. He had a really down year, and I think he needs to reestablish himself as one of the best players. The addition to the lineup, where you can put those guys in there knowing you're going to get some, a guy that can drive in runs and carry your team in the middle of that lineup is really, really going to be big.
Yeah, Terry, to me, Donaldson is a fascinating case this year because, he was a former great player and he looked awful last year, especially offensively. And we heard up and down from the Yankees about how great he played defensively at third. I'm not really looking for that from the third baseman. He can be Brooks Robinson all he wants as long as he delivers some offense as well. And Donaldson was too often an automatic out for the Yankees, and they really could have used it. It showed in the playoffs, too, when he was a strikeout machine. So what are they going to get from this guy? There's a lot riding on it here. This is a flashpoint for Josh Donaldson's career.
I feel a little bit similarly about Escobar. When you look at what he was able to do in September, you saw somebody with distinct promise. The fact of the matter is that this Mets lineup is very similar to the one that we had last year. And because of that, they still need that power bat. He does have that little bit of pop in his bat. If he can do that, I think he could really be a huge contributor. And then you have the fact that, Carlos Correa. The deal fell through, so all eyes are going to be on him. He's not a Carlos Correa player, but you also don't want him to be that much of a downgrade to the point where everyone's like, Steve Cohen made a mistake there.
Definitely some intriguing choices there. I think Josh Donaldson definitely has to have a bounce back year, but also DJ LeMahieu, last couple of years has not been healthy and has hit in the 260 range as opposed to, going up there for the American League batting title.